Hello guys, and today's a different type of video from what you usually do on this channel. We are gonna go through the Ballon d'Or ranking because a lot of people were talking about saying it's controversial. How's it ended up that way? How have people gone there? So what we've done is we've got the top 19. Obviously these 19 and 19 players that got in there. 20th was Lautaro Martinez. Lautaro Martinez was 20th out of these 20 players. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix the ranking. Obviously still a bit ill here, so excuse the voice. But we're going to re-rank all these players here. We're going to start from 19th and we're going to go all the way back to number 1. Obviously the main controversy, people go, oh, Haaland deserves to win it, oh, Haaland deserves to win it. Whatever, shut up. We're going to go through it now. Starting in 19th, it just is Emiliano Martinez. So we're going to move Kane over there. I'm going to move Martinez down here for now. That starts us off very, very wisely with the video. Then on to 18th. I do think it is, on this list, Kvaratskhelia. Like, I just don't think... Yeah, he had a good year. Yeah, fair enough, mate. He had a good year. However, I don't think he had as good as the year people think he did. Like, he had a really good start to the year. He's like, oh, people, correct Donna. But towards the end of the year, it was all this guy. Osimhen was the guy running the show towards the end of the year. So he deserves to be there. 17th, I think Bellingham does sit well in the 17th there. He had a good year. Yeah, he won the Bundesliga Player of the Year. Great year for him. Won the Cup Trophy as well this year. Great season for him last year. But I feel like this next season, the season I'm currently in, it's a season where you're gonna see him shoot up here in the list. He's been on fire so far this year. But yeah, 17th is good for him, and in 16th it is gonna be Bono. He had a good World Cup, getting Morocco all the way to the semi-finals, and he was a big part of getting to the semi-finals there. And he also won the Europa League with Sevilla, being a big part of that. But Sevilla had a bit of a stinky season. You know what? Just because of how stinky of a season Sevilla actually had, yeah, Jude's going to go ahead of him. And, yeah. Like, he had a good year cup-wise, but league-wise, it could have been better. Could have been better, especially the start of the year. It's not the smartest for him. But just for that World Cup performance, he does get over Kvaratskhelia. Yeah, Emiliano Martinez did have a good World Cup performance as well. Not as good of a league performance, and didn't do anything in Europe because he obviously wasn't in Europe. But Bono managed to get that European trophy, and he actually, you know, and the best ever finish for an African team. It's got to be appreciated. Emiliano Martinez had other good players in the team. So did Bono, but he was the star man. So yeah, 17th, and then puts Jude in 16th. Then in 15th, I think I'm going to go for Benzema. You know, he didn't have as good of a year last year as people might say he had. Like, it just wasn't. He won the Ballon d'Or. Didn't really go to the didn't go to the World Cup. Didn't do much for Real Madrid last year. 15th it is. And next one is one of the biggest moves that I've had so far, and that is going to be to move Alvarez. Like, people, oh yeah, Alvarez won everything, like joking around, but as a season, he wasn't massively part of City's season. He's a mid player. Do not get me wrong. He is fantastic. He's better than Harry Kane though. He's not better than Harry Kane. 14th. Obviously, in a couple of years, you might see him shoot up higher in this list. But for now, I think 14th does him a lot of justice for how good of a year he had last year. He won everything there is to win. Bigger part of the Argentina squad than he was of the City squad though. Like, City could have won it without him. Could Argentina? Probably. But he was there, and that's the whole point, is he was a big part of that Argentina win. Then on to 13th. And I'm going to go I'm going to go Mohamed Salah. Kane's moving up and up in this list, isn't it? Salah, just because, once again, that start is a whole season award. It's not just for the year that he's had, it's a seasonal award now. It is for the 22-23 season that he had. And at the start of the year, Salah was not Salah. That's the only way to put it, really. Salah was not Salah. So I feel like 13th, that does him enough justice. Yeah. 12th. This is where it's getting tough now. In 12th place, I'm going to put Kane in 12th. It wasn't the best of years from Kane. He scored like 28 league goals still. He had a great league year on his own, but missing the penalty when it was crucial. Not a great season with Spurs, not even getting into Europe. It can't shoot any higher than this 12th position here. Like Salah has all good players alongside him. Kane was dragging that Spurs side last year, but drag it all you want. That's where you're going to be, mate. I think Lewandowski suits 11th place, and that keeps the top 10 mostly out. The only person to drop out of the top 10 so far has been Alvarez. But Lewandowski, 11th place, suits him. Won the league last year, didn't do well in Europe though, and that's got to say something of how well he did in Europe, and he just didn't do well in Europe at all. So 11th place for Lewandowski, it is. That rounds out into the top 10 now. We now have a top 10. Let's get into it. 10th place. I feel like... Right, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Modric can go up higher there. And Gundogan has had a massive jump up on this list right now. He went from 14th all the way to 10th. It's a good jump for him. And I feel like he's just not respected enough for how important he was to City last year. Obviously, wasn't playing every game, but towards the end of the season, this guy was the man. He scored the goal. He scored a goal in... Did he score twice in the FA Cup final? I can't remember. I've blurred that game out of my head, but this guy was on it in that final. In the FA Cup, he was vital towards the end of the season in the Prem, and he's just a big part of the way City was playing towards the end of last year. So 10th does him a lot of justice. Was he more important than Bernardo Silva last year? I feel last year, yeah, you know what? I feel like last year he was more important than Bernardo Silva for City. Bernardo Silva, obviously a great player, but I feel like in that treble-winning run, Gundogan was more vital than Silva, just because he was a captain. That's simply how it is. That's all I'm seeing on here. Is these two are pretty hard to push apart. That's the way I'm gonna have to go around it. It's probably a bit of injustice to both of them being here, but that's where I've got them. Osimhen, you know what? For the year that he had, right, we're gonna do that. Vinicius Junior, absolute baller. Modric, baller. Osimhen, baller. That leaves this top 5 as it is. But Osimhen dragged Napoli towards the end of the year last year into their first league title win in decades, since Maradona was at the club. This guy deserves his flowers, honestly. Just throw them at him. Modric, once again, another great year. He's just watching him is great in it. And Vinicius, good footballer, but with Real Madrid not doing much last year, he can't be any higher than this. These two cannot be any higher than this. Arguably, these two should be here as well. Like, this 4 here could go any way. This is the way I've got it right now, because when we get into this list now, it's going to get crazy. Mbappe's got to be 5th. Like, once again, does he though? No, I can't. Mbappe didn't have a better year than any of these guys. That's just the way to put it. He won League One. Yeah, that's cool. He's got a hat-trick in the World Cup final, which is crazy, but he didn't win the World Cup. That's just how it is. He didn't win the World Cup. He's got to be 5th. He didn't do anything crazy last year, apart from that hat-trick in the World Cup final, which is still wild. I get why he's up this list, especially if he's there. I get why he's there. 4th. Yeah, I am doing that simply because these two guys were more vital. These two guys were more vital to City's treble. Like, could they have done it without Haaland? No, they couldn't have. But could they have done it without these guys? No, they couldn't have either. Rodri literally scored the goal that won him the treble. So this guy deserves his respect, and he's going to get it. He's going to get the respect. He is too. And De Bruyne is... it is tempting. I just don't know which way how to put these. I think... You know what? Nah. De Bruyne is the better player. Rodri had the more iconic moments, but you know, De Bruyne got him there. De Bruyne is City's best player. So if you're gonna, you know, the Ballon d'Or is a ranking of who's the best player in the world right now, and if he's the best player in the team, he's clearly the best player in out of these guys here. He's the best player in the team. That's the way to put it. Is These two guys are better than him. He had a great season, yeah. Stats wise, yeah, amazing. These two guys were just crazy. They're on another level last year. I'm not moving him. Don't need to be moved. Like, this number one is perfect. Let's say his name because he won the World Cup. It was a World Cup year, right? I know it shouldn't have been a World Cup year. The World Cup year should have been the year before when Benzema won it, but it's just not how it was. There was a World Cup year. Messi won the World Cup in winter in Qatar. People go, oh, it's rigged though. He scored. I don't care. I don't care. Right? He won the World Cup. He created one of the most iconic finals any of us will ever watch, ever. You know, you'll never like. You rarely see a game of football like that. Never mind a final like that. And for him to score twice in the final, he scored one of the penalties that went on to win the World Cup for Argentina. He completed his legacy, right? And if the greatest player of all time, if what he did last year made him the greatest player of all time, surely it's not an argument then that he should win the Ballon d'Or that year. Because if he's the greatest player of all time, he's obviously the greatest player currently playing, and that's just how it is. But that is the changed ranking now, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know how you want to change it. But that's the team. Find me about it. Thank you for watching.